Most men walk through life blind to the signals women send, not because they're foolish, because they were never taught. Oh, look. And when it comes to married women, the signals become even more complex, more layered, more silent. She won't tell you she's attracted to you. She won't flirt in obvious ways. She wouldn't send late-night texts or beg for attention. Instead, she'll leave behind a trail of micro-behaviors, so subtle they feel like static in the background. In this, you know how to tune in, but let them ask you something. Have you ever noticed the way a married woman lingers when you speak? The way her laughter lasts a second too long? Like she's not lying at the joke, but at the feeling you give her, or the way her eyes soften when you say something deep, like she's suddenly in a world where she doesn't to pretend. That's not politeness, that's not coincidence, that's emotional. Because when a woman is, marriage buries her feelings deep, under loyalty routine and the weight of doing right thing, but desire real firm and tardy. It doesn't follow rules, it leaks. It shows up in her tone, in her present scene, the pauses between her words. It shows up when she asks you about your dreams and listens like no one else ever has. It shows up when she mentions her, what a subtle signals, husband, but her eyes ask you to say something and never would, and most men miss it. But yeah, want, because today we're revealing thief, subtle signals. A, married woman shows when she's secretly drawn to you if she tries to fight. Atherent guesses these are. Psychological perspire expresses itself if you're ready, decode. The silent language of family traction even when it's wrapped in wedding vows and careful smiles. Keep watching, because once you learn how to see her signals, you'll never be blind again. Let's get brutally honest for Emma in today's world. Attraction. Desma follow the clean-cut lines of fairy tales or romantic movies. It's not always a boot while single, people locking eyes across the room. Sometimes desire brews in the most unexpected places. Sometimes a woman will be taken with a ring on her finger end. A life that looks complete finds herself magnetically drawn to a man who awakens something she hasn't felt in years. And here's what most men don't understand. Rhea doesn't cancel attraction, it suppresses it. And the more deeply it's buried, the more powerfully it leaks through subtle signals that most guys ignore. But high-awareness men like Hayu can learn to detect those cues with surgical precision. You see, a married woman will never just say she's into you. That would violate everything she's built, the trust, their routine, the persona she wears. So instead, she hints, she signals in code, she flirts in shadows, not spotlights. And what makes this topic stop psychologically deep is that sometimes she doesn't consciously know what she's doing, her behavior shifts. Not because she plans it, but because her subconscious starts craving your presence more than she can admit, even to herself. May she laughs too hard at your jokes. May she touches her necklace when you speak. Maybe her eyes sparkle in conversation, then drop when someone else walks. And each of these is a micro-confession, a clue, a breadcrumb on that trail of repressed emotion and feminine longing. But here's the twist. The signals are easy to miss if you're just watching her mouth. You have to watch her silence, her body language, the way she creates excuses to be near you, or how responds when you leave feastments carry more truth than 1,000 spoken words. And this is where stoic awareness comes in, because of the manual doesn't react emotionally. The manual observes with calm detachment. These the one who sees everything Herod's, the undercurrent, the secret of stoic awareness. He feels the shift in energy. This video is not about seduction. It's not about manipulation. It's about insight and the inner strength to recognize when a woman is gently inviting emotional connection, of if society says she shouldn't in the next few moments. We'll uncover the 5 deeply hidden signs of married. Woman moves off when she's quietly, emotionally, and even erotically drawn to you. If these sides are backed by female psychology fantasy, if you've ever wondered, is being polite or is there something more, this is the video that will give you clarity. Stay focused. What you're about to learn may change how you see every woman who enters your life forever. Sign number 1, her behavior changes in micro moments. You trigger a shift. She can't control a married woman is secretly attracted to you. The very atmosphere around her changes the moment you walk into the room. Most men miss this because that they're focused on what she says. But the truth hides in how she changes her breathing, the way she shifts, her weight, touches her wrist, or arranges a necklace she wasn't even thinking about, all become involuntary. Bossiness to your masculine percentee may suddenly become more animate, more playful, or paradoxically quieter and more reflectively. The ripple effect, because your energy enters her emotional space, triggering a ripple effect in her nervous system. This isn't conscious attraction, it's biological and psychological spark she didn't intend, but now can turn off. She might begin fixing her hair one year, near glancing at you when you're not looking, laughing at things you say that aren't even funny. She might even seem nervous around you, fidgeting, overing, or blushing over nothing. These aren't performances, these arrow slippages in her emotional armor. Stoic men observe this not with arrogance, not with ego, but with clarity, because real attraction isn't in the words, it's in the disruption of her self-control sign. Number 2, she shares details that feel personal but not too personal. Lean, a married woman is drawn to you. She walks a psychological tightrope. She wants to be closer, but she doesn't want to feel like she's crossing a line. Orus, getting caught emotionally exposed. So what does she do? She starts revealing herself just enough. She tells you stories about her past, mentions her childhood, memories, shares her favorite books, movies, or things that made her crim. She opens up about a fear, a passion, or a private frustration, and immediately softens it with a laugh, or, I don't know why I just told you. Daffy's safe. She opens up. Disclosures are really test gauging how you'll respond if you lean in and connect deeply without being pushy or needy. Her trust grows. Her emotional walls begin to erode, not because she wants an affair, but because of her feminine spirit is longing to be felt, not just heard. This kind of emotional vulnerability is attraction in its purest form. A woman won't open up to a man she doesn't feel safe with or curious about when she shares her emotional world with you. It means you fail already. Entered at sign number 3. Her eye contact breaks the rules, then hides behind them. When a married woman looks at you a little too long, then quickly looks away. Or when she pretends not to notice you but checks your reflection on a window, a mirror, or a glance when she thinks you're not watching. That's not just observation, that's emotional leak. Her eyes are trying to say whether words can't. Prolong eye contact from a married woman, especially if shadows make it a habit with other cis. One of the clearest unconscious signs of attraction. But what's even more telling is what happens immediately after if she laughs nervously, plays with her hands, or suddenly focuses hard on something. Osher's overcorrecting, trying to regain emotional control. That's how you know it was real. And if she holds that gaze with intensity, softness, or playful challenge, is letting her guard down. Intentionality's not just a look, that's a signal flare, a silent invitation to connect if you have the strength not to react emotionally. A stoic man never rushes in, lets her eyes speak and listens without chasing, because desire is most powerful when it's unspoken and respected. Sign number 4, she subtly compares you to her husband without realizing a tone. Of the most overlooked signs is when a married woman begins bringing her husband into the conversation, not to build a wall, but to create contrast. You might say things like, "My husband do like that kind of movie, but you always have. He never really listens to me like that. Don't get to talk about these things at home." These statements are not about loyalty, they're about emotional testing, opening a window. Not why not be seen through by others, but just enough for you to notice. She wants to see. Do you offer her excuses? Something deeper, something stronger, something more emotionally grounding than what she already has. And she's not just observing words, she's absorbing your presence, how you make her feel, how you hold space, how you listen without judgment or need. This kind of contrast is powerful and dangerous, because once she feels emotionally safer with you than the man she sleeps next to her, attraction shifts from curiosity to emotional dependence. A bond most men don't even know they're building until it's too late. Number 5 finds excuses to linger in your presence and then feels guilty about it. This is the most silent and telling sign a married woman who feels drawn to. You will find subtle ways to be around you. Maybe she happens to show up where you are or asks you for help with things she could easily do herself or walk slower when you're nearby, or starts conversations that don't really need to happen just to keep you talking. But what's more revealing than her desire to around you is her behaviour afterward. Her behaviour, she act distant or overly formal irrev because her atra Keishan left a trace of guilt. She'll treat a reset to emotionally pull back token herself. It's not happening, beauty. It is. And the back and forth is absolutely shave, already blurred. A stoic man doesn't exploit. The sea doesn't push or provoke you, simply remains present, strong, centered, because he knows that real power isn't in taking what isn't. Your sits and understanding what others are, afraid to admit when a married woman seeks your presence are resisted, then seeks it again. It means your emotions are now entangled with you, and sometimes that's a more powerful attraction than anything physical truth. Most men never realize until it's too late when a married woman shows subtle signs of attraction. It's not just about you, it's about what you awaken in her. It's about a piece of her that's been quiet for too long, a part of her that's still alive, still vibrant, still searching for a spark that reminds her, well, she was before the routines, the obligations, the silent emotional disconnect. As a man grounded and stoic presents, become more than a temptation. You become a mirror, one that reflects not just her beauty, but her desire to outro alive again. And that's where their all power lies, because attraction, espousally from someone who's taken Israel about crossing lines. It's about connection. It's about feeling understood in a world that stopped listening. It's about a man who doesn't try to possess but witnesses, who doesn't seduce but sees, who doesn't chase but stands still powerfully. You don't need to make her yours. You just need to become the kind of off man who makes her question why Sheffield's so drawn to you in the first place. End. That, brother, is the essence obsolete dominance of grounded masculinity, of living in such a way that women not assume not because of your words, but because of your presence. If this message awakens something in you, if you've started to recognize signs you used to look, then it's time to stop playing game like every other man. You were made to be average. You were me. Observe deeper, speak less, radio to more. So, here's your next move. Hit that subscribe button, not just for contempt, but for clarity. Turned on the notification bell because the next video might reveal something that rewires how you see every woman from this moment forward, and drop a comment below. I choose presence over pressure. Let the world know you're not here twice. You're here to embody what most men fear. True masculines still miss. This is timeless. Truths where attention eyes earned through restraint. We women chase what they can't quite define, and where you silently and powerfully become unforgettable. I'll see you in the next video.